Hey friends, I'm driving home from work and just wanted to share some thoughts that I had today. I was thinking about that story in the Bible about the leper, actually the 10 lepers that were calling out to Jesus, asking him to heal them. And as they were healed as they went to show themselves to the priest as Jesus told them to do. But there was only one out of the 10 that went back to Jesus and thanked him. And I have always thought a lot about that verse, and I've always wanted to be like that one that went back and thanked Jesus. And as I was just thinking about that today, I sort of saw got a whole new light, saw that scripture in a whole new light. I felt like that, the one that went back and said thank you was just like the other 9 that didn't go back, in that they had been separated from their family, separated from their mothers and fathers and children, and separated from society. And so when they started to see they were being healed, I would imagine they were just overcome with excitement to get to go back and see the life that they had thought they lost forever. And I can understand just being so caught up in that excitement that would just sort of be almost all that you could think about. So the unique thing, I think, and the special thing about many special things there were about the one that went back, but the thing that I sort of saw today and that I never saw before is the one that went back must have taken a moment to realize, he must have paused for a moment and realized that when he had that interaction with Jesus, and when they were asking him to heal them, he realized there was something special about Jesus, and he realized that he needed the healer more than he needed the healing. And I've thought so many times about that for my own life. I went through a horrible time a couple years ago with depression, anxiety, mental illness, and I had been seeking deliverance for 15 years and just of agony and torture. And I couldn't imagine there was anything that I needed more than just being set free from that and being delivered from that. But as I have lived for now a couple of years, being healed, as God healed me completely and delivered me a couple of years ago from all that pain and torture. I've realized now, looking back, that I needed the healer more than I needed the healing. And so I'm sharing that with you because if you're in a situation where you're just standing on faith and waiting on your healing, and you feel like that, if you only had that healing, that would just be everything. That would mean everything. That would change everything. It will bring a lot of relief, and it will change so much for the better when your healing comes. But I think just the realization to pause for a minute and realize that we need the healer. We need the one that's going to heal you. You need that connection with him more than you need the healing. It brings a lot of comfort to realize that, because you don't have to wait even one more second to connect with the healer, to press through and really get so focused on the healer, Jesus Christ, that you are filled with his light, that you're filled with his peace, you're filled with his joy and contentment. And the more you can get filled with him, the more the less important and your healing is going to be. I mean, the less of a sense of urgency and emergency you're going to feel, because you'll realize the closer you get to the healer and the more you're in his presence and the more you take in of him, you realize there are no emergencies. When you're totally resting in the shadow of the Almighty, you really don't have an emergency. All you are doing is just waiting on the Lord to move in perfect peace. And I just wanted to share that with you. That leper that went in and he fell down at the feet of Jesus and thanked him, it says he fell down on his face and he cried with a loud voice. That's total surrender. And so if we could find our way, even before we've gotten our miracle, to fall on our face and cry with a loud voice, just showing our total surrender to him and saying, I need you, Lord. I need the healer more than I need the healing. I need the miracle worker more than I need the miracle. I believe that we will be able to have a peace that passes all understanding that will sustain us until our miracle comes. And the feeling of desperation and emergency will just start to fade away. So I just wanted to encourage you today, if you're feeling like that, you're just feeling like you're running out of options, you're feeling like God's forgotten you, press through and get a hold of the healer and take your eyes off of the healing. Stop being so focused on the results and look at the one that brings the results. And I think that you'll find that it takes a lot of the sting out of waiting. It takes a lot of the hurt out of trying to figure out the timeline for your miracle. And I love you. I know what it's like to be waiting on God, but I also know what it's like to have really connected with the healer. And that, I can say from experience, is the most important thing, and the thing that brings true peace. Having your miracle will bring relief, but it won't bring peace, and it won't sustain us. So I just wanted to encourage you, press past your need for your healing and get a hold of the healer and focus on the healer. Keep your eyes on him, so focused singly upon him that you're just completely filled with his light and his peace and his relief. And that will mean more than anything to you, I promise. Well, I love you. God bless you. Have a wonderful 4th of July holiday. Bye.